it's already cold and flu season rapidly approaching, and so I wanted to review some natural substances that you can take that can combat colds and flus this winter. And that everybody should be adding to their body so that they can decrease the likelihood of catching something. So I kind of wanted to start now. It's not quite cold and flu season yet, but it's going to be just right here around the corner. And as fast as time goes by, it's going to be here before we know it. And these are all natural, and they've all been proven to be very effective. But it's important that you be proactive. You can't wait until you come down with something and expect these things to work. It doesn't work that way.
It's kind of too late.
Yeah, it's too late then. So prevention is way better. So add these things to your wellness regimen now, and they will help down the road. Now,
preventative measures.
Yeah. Now, if you don't have a wellness regimen, you need to get one. And so if you need help getting a wellness regimen, let me know.
You are our guy.
I don't think I have one.
Yeah. So for instance,
do most people have one?
No, they don't. So get a wellness regimen first of all. Do things.
I need a wellness coach.
Yeah. Do things proactively to try to make yourself healthier. For instance, wake up, do some stretches, try to eat some protein, take some supplements, a wellness regimen. Most people have one, but it's, limp to the coffee pot and then, stumble into the shower and try to get woke up. So, get a little bit of a wellness regimen, especially this time of the year. So now the first one we're going to talk about today is by far one of the most effective, and that's garlic. Garlic is one of the most potent, natural antibiotic and antivirals on the planet. Now, the interesting part about garlic is that viruses and bacteria cannot develop a resistance, apparently, cannot develp a resistance to garlic like they can to some, antibiotics.
That's because it smells so damn bad.
Yeah.
Well, nobody wants to get around nothing that smells like garlic.
Exactly.
Vampires don't like it either.
I don't want what?
Vampires don't like it either.
No, I don't like to get around people who smell like garlic.
It's one of the problems with it.
Is that what it is? Could it be as simple as that?
No, what it is, there's compounds, the same compound, it kind of is, the same compounds that are antibacterial, antivirus also have that strong smell to it. So,
wait a minute, I got a question. Can you take garlic supplements that don't make you smell like garlic?
Yeah, but the real thing is always better than the garlic supplements. But yeah, you can definitely take this in supplement form and get a significant amount out of it. I'm always one to go more the real whole food form.
Yeah.
But if you don't like garlic,
but Doc, you can't walk around smelling like garlic all day.
It's either take it or don't have any close friends, right?
Yeah. You know what? Come to think of it, I could drop a few. I might start eating garlic.
But the problems with antibiotics is that the bacteria and viruses develop resistance to them. And this has been going on for over 50 years now. We use more and more antibiotics, and the bacteria and viruses get stronger and stronger to resist them. And this has now reached a point after decades of overuse of antibiotics that the bugs are winning. They're getting to the point where they're not working. The antibiotics aren't working anymore. Nature will almost always find a way around man-made substances. Almost in every case, anything you're talking about, nature will find a way. And bacteria and viruses have evolved to the point now that medicine is having a difficult time keeping up. We've created a perfect storm for these viruses and bacteria to evolve and to make us sick because our immune systems get stronger when we fight off disease. If I get a cold and I fight it off on my own, my immune system afterwards is stronger. When we catch something, our immune system kills it, and then it develops antibodies and becomes stronger. But when we constantly treat sickness with antibiotics, our immune system gets weaker, and the bugs get stronger.
Yes.
So, Doc, can I tell you something?
Sure.
I took my last dose Deb knows this, about 3 days ago, Deb, 4 days ago. I took my last dose of antibiotics. I've been on antibiotics for over a month. They had to keep changing them because the bug, whatever it is I had, was resistant to the medicine.
Right.
And I'd never experienced that. Usually, normally, since when I was a kid. if you got something, just some simple penicillin would kill it.
Right.
Well, now, like you said, they were so, in my body at least, they were so resistant to the medicine. It was just like it was like water to them. Ha 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 ha! That's not going to get us.
Yeah.
And I had to go through a month's worth, or a little over a month's worth of different types of antibiotics until finally they found one that got it.
Right.
And it was crazy.
And this is what's happening. So after decades and decades and decades of antibiotic use and overuse, the bacteria are changing and evolving, and these things can evolve past these things, these medications, just like any other thing in nature would.
But what I found interesting was that it's not necessarily that I have taken a lot of antibiotics. It's that the world has.
Right.
The bug that got into me was already resistant.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not like I had been taking antibiotics and
No.
it kept. No, I got it only once.
Right.
And it was finding the one that could. And eventually, what concerns me is eventually, are we just going to run out of antibiotics that kill this stuff?
Well, that's where it's going. And so smart doctors now are much more hesitant to hand out antibiotics like they used to be 20 years ago. And parents get mad at them. What do you mean you're not going to give him an antibiotic? He's sick. And many times the antibiotic wouldn't change anything anyway.
Right.
And so listen to your doctor. Don't get upset with your doctor when he doesn't want to give your children or you antibiotics for everything. So build your own resistance. Take garlic. Garlic is going to be one of the most natural and one of the strongest natural antivirus, antibacteria substances on the planet.
And if everybody eats it, we won't notice anybody else's breath.
Right, exactly.
That's right. Now, if two people have garlic, you don't notice the other one had it. Okay, okay.
So, that's
Come
like
here, honey. Let me kiss you.
That's like when me and Lindsay go out. Like if I'm eating purple onions and she's not, I'll say, "Try, take a bite of this. Just take a little bite of this, just so we're even." But garlic contains over 100 naturally active compounds that can not only kill bacteria, but are also seen to increase our own immune function. So not only is it killing it, but it's also stimulating our own immune system to get stronger at the same time. And garlic is even effective against strep, staph, and anthrax. That's how powerful this is. Yeah, so you can now onions, by the way, have many of these same compounds, but garlic is way, way better. So, consume more garlic and add it to your food. You can take garlic supplements. You can even get, like for ear infections, you can get garlic drops that you drop in your ears. Very, very effective. So garlic is a great supplement for fighting off colds and diseases and flus. Now, number 2 on the list is ginger. Ginger is very, very effective at colds and flus. And I'm not talking about the ginger-flavored Frappuccino from Starbucks. That doesn't count. I'm talking about, it's a root. You buy it at the store. It looks like a root. You can make tea with it. You can put it in your juicing pile or in your NutriBullet.
Have it with sushi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
what about
I
the
do.
ginger that comes with sushi? Isn't that sushi? Isn't that pickled or something?
Yeah, but I'm sure the compounds are still in there.
Okay.
I'm sure it's still good. I like to buy a chunk of it at the grocery store, and I'll slice it and put it in my NutriBullet when I'm doing my juicing.
Into your what?
In your
NutriBullet?
Well, no.
NutriBullet?
What the hell is that?
You never seen a NutriBullet?
I don't think I have, Don.
Okay, it's like a little small. You know what that is, Deb?
do.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a little blender, little blender thing.
Yeah, a
But
little
it's
small
a
blender.
strange name. But anyway.
A NutriBullet.
A NutriBullet. Yeah. So it's like a little personal blender. You make 1 cup with it.
Okay.
And so the Chinese, there's a Chinese study that proved that it kills flu viruses, and there was a study in India shows that it's really a tremendous immunity booster. Now, if you're going to NutriBullet your ginger,
Okay. I'm not going to your house.
yeah, if you get
Close the blinds.
if you get a NutriBullet your ginger, one tip,
Or Mary Ann.
yeah. One tip is to slice your ginger really thin, like you would, like you're slicing a carrot to put in a stew or something. Slice it really, really thin because it's kind of fibrous, and you don't want those fibers to end up in your drink. And if you'll slice it really, really thin, crossways, cross the fibers, you won't get those fibers in your juicing drink, in your green drink. So, but it's super, super good for preventing colds and flus, and it's great in tea. You can make a tea with it, which is very, very effective. Now, number 3 on the list, and this is really an interesting one, is olive leaf extract. This has been used for years to fight against almost any microorganism. Now, this is so effective that drug companies are now trying to find the active ingredient in olive leaf extract, and they're trying to make a drug based off of it. So since you can't patent a supplement, what they'll do is they'll take the olive leaf extract to the lab, figure out what the compound is that helps with colds and flus, and make a synthetic version of it, and then go patent that and then sell that as a drug. So that's why these drug companies study things like they took omega-3 fish oil and made Lovesa, I think's the name of it. Right, so you can't patent a supplement. But supplements are so effective, they can take it, make an artificial compound that does the same thing, and then patent that as a drug and sell it.
So why not just take the real thing?
Take the olive leaf extract and skip all that, right? It's a super, super disease fighter. So, we can take natural supplements to try to help us get through cold and flu season. So let's go ahead and take a break. And when we get back, I have an amazing supplement that everyone listening should start taking during this time of year. A couple of real amazing ones.